Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be reviewing the dewalt and rigid mobile rolling toolbox sets. I wanted to explain my search and my observations of these two units and run with you why I chose the rigid over the dewalt and even the Milwaukee units. My first thing that I really needed was the ability to store smaller and larger components and screws and parts. So the rigid unit actually comes with the divider capability. You can add and remove these dividers, and you have a large bin or 3 individual smaller bins. You also get the regular size bins, or I guess medium in this case. This one has been reconfigured to my liking between a couple different units that I have. And normally it does only come with 2 of these divider units, and then the rest is going to be your regulars. The DeWalt, on the other hand, is going to come with this configuration here. So you got 4 larger bins and 8 of the smaller bins, or regular size bins. But there is no divider, and there's no capability of doing a divider in here unless you're to make something yourself. That was my problem. I didn't want just a couple screws and a bin like this. It makes it very hard to get to them because they're very deep. So I opted for the rigid setup. I also did look at the Milwaukee, which is it's a very nice set, but I was looking at the bins, and I was not able to get a 4-inch screw into the Milwaukee bins, which I do not have a Milwaukee here. They do have the capability of doing smaller bins, half size storage bins. It's about half the size of one of these rigids, or even the DeWalt. And then also they have even smaller yet, where it's a half here and a half over here. Very versatile. Unfortunately, the Milwaukee is also very expensive too. So we'll get into that a little later. Let's go through the functions here a little bit. The latches, the rigid uses metal latches that also serve as a handle. I can show you over here. Pull on this, unlatches it. Same thing on the other side, and then you can grab here and pulls up. Now at the front has a latches to lock the lid. Keep that secured. Both the DeWalt and the Air Rigid are IP65 weather rated. The DeWalt uses plastic latches in a very similar swing in and out kind of deal. They are not a handle, but there is a little recess on the side that you can use as a handle. The top also has latches to close the lid, and just like with the rigid, there's also a handle to use it as a suitcase. Neither one of them, you should have no concern, as long as they're contained within their own bins, of the items coming into another bin when carried in the suitcase form. I do not ever plan on using a suitcase because I like to keep everything nice and flat in my my storage boxes. As we get down to the bottom units here, you can see these latches actually go to the side, and these on the rigid actually do the same thing. They'll pop in there, keep them nice and tucked away. The same idea. Let's go into the next bins here. The wall, you're going to have 4 large storage bins. The center is going to be empty. And then as a bonus, you get storage up top that folds down. That opens up. And same thing on the other side. And then on the rigid, metal latches. On the rigid, you'll get 6 bins. 3 of mine have been removed. There's actually a hard divider in the center. This is only on the tough boxes, not the clear parts organizer boxes for the rigid line. Unfortunately, the top, although it does come out, you have to leave it in if you want to keep whatever is in these bins from separating when it is being lifted as a suitcase or if it's going up and down stairs. And in my case, I go up and down stairs. So you can remove this, but just understand your bins will probably float around a little bit. And it will give you another, I believe, like an inch. The structure of both of these is actually very strong. I don't plan on running mine over with a truck. Go down another level. Now these bottom containers is your base level. These ones come with the wheels. The dewalt is going to have plastic wheels, solid plastic, with a metal rod. And on the same thing on the rigid, except they will give you rubber tires. There is no bearings in these wheels. Right here, it's kind of loud. The rigid is going to be better partially because of the rubber tires. Now, if we open this up, in the rigid, they do a side latch. Also has a top handle. And the internal of the rigid actually comes with the organizer on the back half. Partially this is because the wheels are inset into the box, so you lose part of the back due to the wheels. The front half of the box is all open. There's 2 large open areas in here, in the organizer on the sides, and then you have a slot, a large slot here, and you have tiny slots for screwdrivers on the other side. The depth of the rigid is going to be about 12.5 deep, this way, about 12.5 deep by about 13 and a quarter depth, and about 20 inches wide. Now the dewalt has front latch. Comes with a tray and no storage and no organizer on the inside, but it is a very open compartment. That measurement, we're looking at about 13.5 deep, about 19 wide, and another 13 front to back. The tray can be mounted in the back, middle, or the front. Unfortunately, I wish the rigid came with the tray. It does not. One of the big problems I had when I was looking at the DeWalt was the height of the handles. I have to be able to store mine in the back of a truck with the topper on it. I have a hard top. So the handle maxes out at 25, and that's folded up. It will not fit in the back of my truck at that. The rigid fits perfectly in the back of my truck at 19. The Milwaukee will measure 26 inches tall. DeWalt, when you open the lid, the handle goes with it. It swings back. So the only problem with this is that if you want to get into some of the other boxes while they're stacked, they a lot of times run into the handle. If you have a box on top of the bottom, it runs into the handle. One thing that DeWalt has that I was hoping to be able to use is the ability to store individually each unit, each box, and being able to retrieve each one individually by itself, as opposed to having to take apart the whole stack one box at a time to get to the bottom one. To get that feature, you either have to get the utility cart, which is another $171, or you have to get a wall system. And at that point, if you're using a utility cart, you would not need the bottom unit with the wheels already attached to it. The rigid actually comes with a locking bar that once you have inserted a couple of these units together, take this locking bar and actually slide it all the way down, and then put your padlock down here, and that'll slow down anybody from trying to steal one box at a time. Of course they can still just wheel the whole thing away. It's cute, but also if they just wanted one box and they had a pair of dikes on them, they could just cut the slots and probably just break it anyways. So pretty minor. What I do, because I've been using the rigid for a little bit here, they lock together. Everything locks together real nicely, firmly. When I get to my job site and I need to get to the bottom, I can just unlatch the bottom, grab the top, lift up, put that to the side, and bam, I'm into my bottom box, get to what I need to, and then of course I'm going to have to disassemble any of the top pieces if I need to get into other bins or components that I need at that time. But it's not too big of a deal. Usually I can just reorganize it to the one that I'm majority going to be in onto the top at that time. Well, I got all this put together. I'm going to show you the handle. It comes up. Same with the rigid. Both of them are pretty flimsy. We'll see how long they last. I pulled the rigid up a good couple flights of stairs a couple times already. It's so far been holding up. Both of them have some sort of a rail on the back to allow you to skid up the stairs. The sets that you can get, you're looking at $190 for a rigid set. They do go on sale. I'm not sure what they are for sale, but you'll get the bottom. You'll get a box a little bigger than this, and then you'll get this medium-sized box. And then the DeWalt is going to be $149. You'll get the bottom with the wheels. You'll get another medium-sized box, and then you'll get a box a little bit bigger than that one, and then you'll get this box here for $149. Milwaukee has a very similar set also. Theirs is $279. It comes with the wheeled bottom, the large deep chest that's a little bit bigger than the wheeled part, and then you'll also get another medium box very similar to these. There is also other brands out there, Bosch, Festool, and Makita, but they're not really in the same realm of the Milwaukee, the rigid, and the DeWalt. They are not as heavy duty of design. I don't know if I would trust them falling down the stairs. They would probably shatter. The rigid ultimately I went with because of its compartments capability. The handle was a big thing. If I couldn't put it in the back of my truck, it did me no good. So those are probably the biggest reasons that I went with the rigid. Also the price just was way worth more. The price was worth way more to me than trying to make like the Milwaukee version work. If there's any questions, feel free to go ahead and comment down below. Thanks for watching.